Design your world with the TYM sweepstakes. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary in the U.S. with a chance to win one of 2 TYM 3515 hydrostatic tractors. Share your story of how you'd use your brand new TYM tractor on your property for a chance to win. Snap a pic or short video of your yard, field, or project. Describe how you'd use the versatile, shiny red TYM 3515 hydrostatic tractor. Register and upload it at the link provided in the video description. Want extra entries? Share on LinkedIn. Keep up with the giveaway by following TYM on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Joe,
what do you say, Tony?
Hey, buddy. We are back again for another Tuesday. And
another Tuesday? How many is this now?
I don't know. I think this is our 5th or 6th together.
Well,
if you count the one that we did just where I invited you onto the show. And who knew you were going to stick around, man?
I'm like an old penny, brother. I just keep turning up.
I like it, man. Tell us about our guest coming up here real quick. We'll tease them real quick. Let's tease him just a second. And we got some giveaways today too. So
yeah, man. All right. So a friend of mine, actually kind of a new guy I met, his name's Mike Lindahl, and he's the co-founder of Domain Outdoors, excuse me. And I think it's outdoor. It's kind of like Tony's Tractor Adventure or Adventures. We
only have one adventure and he only has one door.
We're still trying to figure out on the S, but man, they're a seed company and they do a great job with a couple specific things we're going to talk about. And again, like we've told y'all before, we're not getting paid anything. This is something we've come across and we invited him on the show. He didn't push his way on the show. And I just think they're doing it right. And I think that they're doing some really great things. So excited. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I actually used some of his products this past weekend and did not realize that it was his product.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys watched the video where I did the tilling with my 5520 TYM, that was all Domain Outdoor products. And I'm excited to talk to Mike because I'm wondering if that seed would have survived, the nuclear Tennessee summer after a good rain, but we'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, man. So what have you been up to? I saw on Instagram, there may be a new ride in the.
There's a new ride. Let me show you real quick. So I've had the old Ram diesel for about a little over 4 years, and I felt like it was time I want to go gas. So I went ahead and got me a 20 or a 250. It's a Lariat, and it's got the 7.3 Godzilla, and I love it. It likes gas, but when you get a 250, it's I don't care diesel or gas. It's going to be cheaper than the diesel for what I do. And I really run the numbers. It's actually going to be cheaper for me to do that. But
you and Wrangler Star. So you and Wrangler Star are running the 7.3 Godzilla, right?
Well, I did find the Eco switch yesterday. I did not realize that. I got to figure out because when you turn it on, it automatically goes to normal drive mode. And when you go to Eco, it's a little less. It's a more spongy, but the fuel mileage is it's a couple miles per gallon better. But it automatically goes back to normal every time you start it.
So with your experience with engines, do gas engines get better with gas mileage as they age like diesel engines do?
I no,
I don't think they do.
Honestly, I didn't notice any better diesel mileage out of my 4-year-old diesel than I did when it was brand new. I mean,
I have. I've noticed a big difference.
Have you? Oh Lord, we lost you, Bo. Can't do this show without you. Better find some internet. If you guys don't know, this is Joe from Joe the Farmer, and you guys need to check his channel out. I would really like it if you'd ease over his YouTube channel and subscribe. And I'm not sure that he paid his internet bill. I'm just saying, could not. We might have to bring Mike in here just to pull us out. Joe, where you at, buddy? How about that? We may have to lose him. Maybe he's going to log off and log back on.
I'm back.
There you are.
Okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, noticed a big difference on my tractors when they were brand new and my Duramax.
Did you have to go put another quarter in?
I did. Yes.
Okay.
I'm running short on change, brother. So we'll see how long I get tonight. So maybe we won't go on to the.
While you were going, I was plugging your channel, man. I was like, you guys, go over to his channel and subscribe to Joe the Farmer, so he can get a few more quarters to pay his internet bill.
I appreciate that. And by the way, if you want to see Tony's new trucks or the solar panels or the new Bighorn he has, you can go to his Instagram or his YouTube channel. So
let me show you the Bighorn today. This is what my wife and I were doing. That's the Bighorn truck, and we loaded the 10 of those solar panels, and I don't know how much that is exactly, but they were probably 60 pounds a piece, and we put 10 of them in there, and it didn't even squat it, man. I was so impressed with that.
It looks like that side by side's made for that.
It really is. I mean, it's made for a pallet. I've set a pallet in the back of it, and I got 1,200 watts of solar panels to go on the cabin. So that's going to be something that's coming up in our. If you're interested in solar, definitely check us out. And if you're interested in a cabin in the woods and watching somebody that has absolutely no idea what they're doing, just kind of, head on,
Fair enough. I mean, that's basically YouTube, but let's say hi to some people in the comment section.
Okay. Look here, got a sidetrack. You threw me off when you went away. I thought I was going to do this by myself.
Well, listen, at least it just died like that. It didn't like, I wasn't talking to myself for a minute, but, and by the way, Kevin, I did hit the go live button. We figured that out. So the issue I had before was I was building a profile in like YouTube and Facebook, as well as through our stream program. And that's where it got messed up. So
we don't care. I mean, we really don't care.
I know.
Anyway, let's see here. Now, I'm the one that had the trouble hitting the live button, if you remember.
My buddy Joe's Outdoor Experience from North Carolina. What's up, my friend? He has a great channel. He was just starting out when I met him, and I was actually at Josh's Stony Ridge Farmers place when I met him, and we had a great time just getting to know each other. And he has a very strong New York accent, but I think that gives it a lot of charm when he's kind of doing the stuff he's doing, with tractors and the outdoors and chainsaws. You don't see a lot of people with a strong. Joe, was it the Bronx or Brooklyn, or I don't remember what it was, but there's not a lot of chainsaws going around those places. And if there are, they're probably going to get locked up. So
love it. We got a lot of people here. Southern Girl got the new toys. You know what? I was broke for a long time.
I'm still broke. I just have more toys.
Yeah. Got more toys. I'm kind of scrolling through here. We'll wait.
George Robertson, how are you, my friend? Good to see you.
Trying to look at there. Bow hunting.
Long Island.
I made a comment at the beginning of it. It said if you are interested, or if you're interested in whitetail hunting this year, make a comment. So you guys do that if you want to make a comment real quick.
Well, there it is. Wayne. Is it Wayne? Wayne Subin River Valley. It's Wayne, right? Wade. I'm sorry, Wade. Sorry, Wade. I'm learning I know who Wade is, but I'm trying to remember who everyone is by their handles. But yeah, it's not the My Pillow guy. It's not Mike Lindahl.
Right.
That guy's real creepy. I'd like to have him on the show, ask him some. He's a little out there, but let's see. Kevin got the Gulu 4000. That is it. The Gulu is pretty awesome. I've got a video coming out with. They actually sent me an upgraded Gulu, to them upgraded, but it did not get a good review. So not everybody gets great reviews. Laura Rivera, driving to Birmingham and watching. Welcome, my friend.
So I'm trying to click on all you guys, let you know that we do love you, and we appreciate you coming in each week. That's awesome that we get a crowd. Last week on Facebook, I think we ended up with about 5,000 people watching. I think it's a couple hundred that watched it on YouTube, and I don't know about the other channels, so I can't see that. You'd have to tell me on your side, but
yeah. Well, on Facebook, we're at Joe the Farmer TN. So we'd love to have you guys join us on Facebook too. We're getting close to that 5,000 mark. So we'd like to grow a little bit. Let's again, Mike Lindahl, he's Domain Outdoor, like great product. They're doing some things very, very differently than other seed companies. And, and I actually told Mike when we talked the first time, I was like, man, another seed company, right? Like, yes, your seeds, it may be better, but like, then what? But man, they've got it dialed in to where if you're a person, whether you're doing like 1/10 of an acre or 10 acres, like, and again, they didn't prep me for this, but I feel very confident when I'm going in the field with their products about exactly what to do. And we're going to talk about some of that stuff. So and we're going to give some of it away.
So you want to bring his little video up? I found a video.
Why would you say his little video? That's not right.
Well, I meant short.
That's not right either. Would you like to bring his brief?
Short. What can I say?
His brief video up.
His brief video.
Mike's bigger than you, man. You watch out.
Listen,
go ahead and show him. Go ahead and show him.
It was a gun show.
If you all watch Tony's most recent video doing his food plot, Tony's looking a little bit yoked. So there may be something to this carnivore.
Yeah, listen, carnivore's good. All right, let me show this little piece here. Here we go.
Smackdown is one of our easiest to use and fastest growing brassica mixes. It has 2 different types of turnips, a purple top and a forage turnip. One grows fast, one establishes a little bit slower. One provides ideal warm season food, one provides ideal cold season food. So together.
I didn't pay the bill, man. What's up with this tonight?
I don't know.
That's all you get.
But you know what? Here's the good news is, everyone, we're going to get the real thing here in just a second. So we can hear it directly from Mike. And
there he is. I'm just surprised it worked. Let me be honest with you, because we've had technical difficulties.
I paid my bill, so I'm here.
Yeah, you put 2 rednecks. You give 2 rednecks 2 computers. You some Tennessee boys. We're going to find something to mess up.
We can tear it up. I guarantee you.
I've been there and done that. Yeah, our podcast typically runs incorrectly for the first few minutes, and then we figure it out with some tape and bubble gum. So
I wish I could say that, but I generally kind of screw it up the whole way through.
Yeah. Well, speaking of your podcast, go ahead and let everybody know what your podcast is, and maybe let everyone know who Mike Lindahl is, the My Pillow. Like, you look a lot younger.
I'm sorry to disappoint everybody, not being the My Pillow guy, but food plots are way cooler than pillows anyways. But Mike Lindahl, one of the dudes over at Domain. We started about 6 years ago, and we just love food plotting and deer hunting and helping people, and kind of brought it all together and created a community of our own. So it's been a heck of a lot of fun, and appreciate you guys having me on here. And I've enjoyed listening to you for the last 12 minutes, and I listened to you last weekend or week too. So when you had George on, so happy to be here. It's planting season in a lot of parts of the country, so it's kind of a fun time. And there it is. Yeah, we've got our Beers and Bucks podcast once a month, where we have plenty of technical difficulties and talk about mindless nonsense, and that's pretty much it.
Well, what's kind of cool is you learn a lot, though. Like, it's so casual, but you learn.
Yeah, 100%. Yep, we are. I'm going to say this, and we're just regular Joes, and
I'll show myself out.
Sorry.
It's okay. I called you the Mike or the My Pillow guy, so
it's fair, right?
Right.
And that's the beauty of it. We don't shove anything down your throat. I mean, we want you to be more successful probably than you want to be successful. So Beers and Bucks is our laid back way of hanging out and talking about deer and food plots and everything under the sun relating to hunting, and doing it in a very casual, banter filled, friendly. I mean, we make fun of ourselves more than anybody. So
you fit right in here then.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fun part, right? I mean, people often ask me, like, how do you know so much about food plotting? Because I've done it wrong every way you possibly can. So I can help you to hopefully avoid some of those pitfalls.
Well, that's one thing that really kind of draws me to your brand, and it is a lifestyle and a community, right? And and listening to your podcast, it's kind of cool because it's like you're hanging out with your buddies who know, like, they've been there and done that. And I was kind of shocked hearing you guys talk about doing food plots that are like, again, 1/10 of an acre, and I was like, what guy who's selling food plot seed is talking about 1/10 of an acre food plot? Food plots, whitetails, and I just think it's very approachable, which is cool.
Yeah, we should try to be. And like I said, I still plant food plots with a garden rake. Some of them, I've got some inaccessible ground, and a little sweat equity goes a long way still. And
TYM has some tractors that could probably help you with that, by the way.
Well, I've been trying. I've reached out and said, hey, I'm just still doing things the old-fashioned way.
They're giving 2 of them away. You just have to.
You just got to apply for one.
Yeah, man, they're giving 2 of them away.
You'd think they'd let the My Pillow guy get a free tractor, but
that's right. That's right.
That's not.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. It's probably
my boy Wade. Man, I was looking for a new tree stand pillow tonight.
Just wear your harness, brother. Wear your harness.
Hey, I'm all about ideas. I like the tree stand pillow idea.
There you go.
Might be onto something. We made fun of. We were hunting deer last year in Kentucky, and one of the guys in camp had a tree stand umbrella, and he was the brunt of everyone's joke until the last day of rained all day.
All right.
Now we all own tree stand umbrellas. So
right.
I mean, the tree stand pillow might be something there.
Hey, Southern Girl, if you look up the comment section right there, I put the link to the podcast. And if you just want to search it out, I just typed in podcast and then beer and bucks, and it come right up. Yeah, it come right up.
Bucks, yeah. Well, she said bees and bucks, so I don't know.
I don't know if I can help you there.
Yeah, bees and bucks, beers and bucks. Well, we know what she meant.
I think so. It's fun. We have a good time. It's like this, right? I mean, you have a good time. You shoot the crap, and you learn a little bit. And we do too. That's the cool part. It's a very interactive, environment where we started during COVID, to be honest with you, when we couldn't see our friends and hang out and have happy hours. So that's what we did. And it's been running strong ever since. And it's funny because we kind of live in the comments section while we're doing it. And as you can see now, like they love it. I mean, we are the brunt of everyone's jokes, and it's a good time. And in the process, like we talk about food plotting and tips and pitfalls and tricks and all the things. So it's
let me give you my background. So I grew up hunting, whitetail deer, but I left the deer hunting community in about 1986 when I went in the military, and I stayed in the military for pretty much almost 30 years.
Thank you for
so it was not really conducive to hunting. That's the reason I say that. I don't want to.
We know because you don't have a deer behind you.
Yes, that.
Mike, do you mind moving your head a little to the side, Mike? Thank you.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I should just do the rest of it kind of like this.
Right? Yeah, just do it like that, man.
It's a beautiful.
But so we didn't have the we might throw some corn out or throw and plant some corn, maybe some wheat. Yeah. But the reality is food plots was not a thing when I went in the service in 1986. We did not deer food plot. We cut the corn and hunted on the edge of a field. That was the best we got. So this is all relatively new. And last year, I put a food plot out for the first time and was very successful. I kind of accidentally picked the right place. It was in a they would go out to feed in the fields and they come back down this hollow, and I cleared basically a lane, and then I put a food plot in that lane, and they will come through and basically browse that lane to go down and bed down, and it's like a highway. So anyway, that's my story. That's all I know about food plotting. I threw some seed out and it grows.
Well, I mean, it can be that easy, and there's definitely been an evolution, if you will. I mean, when I grew up, they didn't even exist, really, to like you were saying. And now, in the last 5 to 10 years, they've really kind of taken on, and it's one of those things, and it's fun to watch because we get to see the evolution of a person going through that process. Of, hey, I dumped out corn and it was cool, and that's how I started, which is great. That's how a lot of us started. And then from there, I transitioned to like 1/10 of an acre, which we were kind of laughing at. But that's how I started. Now I still plant a lot. And then every year it gets bigger or more. Right. And I add a tractor. Then I add a hand tiller, and then I get sick of that for a couple of years. And then I buy a little tractor that it can do 1/4 of an acre. And then I add another. And pretty soon I'm doing 3 or 4 acres. Right. And it becomes, to Joe's point earlier, a lifestyle, but also effective, incredibly effective, where instead of having to go, and again, like I use attractants and feed wherever I can to supplement my food plots. But it becomes really efficient. You can provide a ton of forage. You can feed deer for a long time without having to visit the site all the time and create the pressure and do all the things. So it really has evolved into habitat management, habitat development, land management. Our slogan is, turn your property into a domain. And it's really become that. And it's really, really fun to kind of talk somebody through or encourage them, whatever you want to call it, to start food plotting and then watch the evolution of the hunter, the person, the food plotter as they kind of work their way through the process. And 5 years later, they're a bona fide food plot farmer. I mean, it's so much fun to watch. And
I did it in 2 years.
the success. Yeah. Well, yeah. And then the success kind of follows. And that's where we get to selfishly have our kind of fun part, is when we get the grip and grins later on. That's, I mean, the next 3 months for us, 4 months, it's our favorite time of year, because all the hard work everybody put in, that's when we get to see the success and we get to share in it. And for us, we take a lot of pride in that, and it's a lot of fun. So a lot of the people that Domain, I mean, heck, we've had personal experiences with them, helping kind of talk them through how to plant it, where to plant it, when to plant it, why to plant it, all the things. And we're very, 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 very interactive when it comes to that, because as fun as it can be, it can also be endlessly frustrating too, just because of Mother Nature and other factors that just play into it. That, like I said, over time, I mean, I've been doing this for 15 years and I've failed every way possible. I've done it multiple times. I typically do it once a year. You know, I fail once a year, if not more. So I can draw from those experiences to help people and help kind of create a plan B and whatnot.
Start us off with, me. I'm your rookie.
I don't think you got much hope, Tony. Maybe just go back to that bucket of corn.
Back to the corn.
Yeah.
So what would be a mistake?
See, here in Tennessee, if you put corn down, you break out in handcuffs.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wisconsin too. So we're in the same boat there.
Yeah. But somebody starting a food plot for the first time, or they're thinking about starting a food plot for the first time, what should be their thought process? Because I mean, I'll tell you, a lot of people that watch our channel are finishing up their careers, whatever those careers may be, and they're wanting to go out and live a off-grid lifestyle, or a more of a self-sufficient lifestyle. And they're buying 15, 20 acres of ground, and they probably hunt it when they grew up, but throughout their, they're in a city working for 30 years, and now this is their lifestyle now. And they're thinking about, hey, I want a food plot. I want to hunt deer. What do they got to think about? Because I mean, it's a lot more than just throw some seed on the ground and hope for the best if you want it to be successful. Because the birds love the seed too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything. You can put as much into it or as little into it as you want. Typically, people start small, and then year over year they add, whether it's implements or steps or whatnot. The first thing I do is reach out to us and just say, hey, here's what I have. Here's what I'm working with. Here's what I want to do. And then what we can do is break it down for them. We do this every day, hundreds of times personally, and break it down to make sure that what we mesh up with them is what fits. So, what do you have for property? Where do you live? What do you have for equipment? In some instances, people can pick a spot like, oh, I've got all this acreage. I can kind of put it wherever. In other instances, it's like, hey, I just bought 4 acres. I have a 1/4 acre opening in the woods. And every scenario, we're going to kind of guide them a little differently to make sure they're A, successful, but B, the product matches where they live, what they're planting with, when they want to plant it, kind of all those things. And I don't like to overcomplicate it, but we like to try to guide them in the right direction right away, because immediate success fuels, future growth and success and all the things that they're going to want to do with their food plots. If they fail the first time because they didn't pick the right seed or do the right, prep work, whether it's a garden rake, a tiller, a tractor, there's a lot of ways to do it. And you don't have to do any of that. You can oftentimes mow, spray, and seed.
Yeah.
The no-till method. So
here's an example of, Southern Girl. She's been, we've talked back and forth with comments and stuff for, I don't know, it seems like a year now. And she's retired military as well. And she's doing it, by herself. And I admire that. That's who's watching our channel right now, is people like this. And there's I guarantee there's some guys and girls out there that are long-term, hunters. It's not new to them. But
thank you for your service, Southern Girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
So before you came on, Mike, I said that there's a couple of things you guys, you guys do things a little bit differently, which is one thing that I really like about the community aspect of what you're doing. So not only have I realized that you're kind of bought in, and this is not like a Mike Lindahl love fest, but I'm just feedback of what people may not know it's different about Domain. What I really like is, to Tony's point, you get the rookie, you get the novice, you get the person who really is like, man, I'm going to spend good money for this seed. I'm going to sweat. I'm going to do all this work. And then, and then what? Right. So what really kind of impressed me was the liquid enhancements that you guys have. And if, in my food plot video last weekend, or that I think we put it on Sunday, what's really cool is that after you and I spoke, there's the liquid that will increase the pH, which I really should have done a soil test before and after to prove if you're, being honest or not.
Yeah.
But
I know. I know.
You can't trust anybody these days, but no, I mean, so that's the kind of thing where, I've done the 40-pound bags of lime. I remember, the kids being out there picking up rocks out of the food plot and then, spreading on the lime. And I mean, that is just a chore. But with that, what was that? Elbow grease?
Elbow grease.
I mean, I poured it. Yeah, the one in the top middle. I poured it in the ATV spreader or sprayer and sprayed it around the plot. Cultipacked it, then sprayed it again with what was it? The cranked, which is like it's like a pre-emergent kind of fertilizer to kind of get things rolling.
Yeah.
And then seeded it, and then cultipack. I'm probably getting that order wrong because it's been a full day, but it's just kind of cool knowing that like you're not just scratching up with the rake and throwing it out there. You're actually going through a process, and you guys do a really good job of explaining the process of like, hey, try this, but also not being, there's a couple YouTube channels I follow that the guy uses the word critical all the time. And every time he does it, it's like nails on a chalkboard because I'm like, this is not critical. This is our passion. We enjoy this. This is supposed to be fun.
100%.
It's just so much pressure.
There's two things we avoid. One is the E word. I hate the word expert. I absolutely hate it. And we're not experts. I mean, we've learned from our experiences. We learned from doing it the right way, the wrong way, everywhere in between. And our goal is to help you be successful. I hate the word expert. It's terrible. The second you call yourself an expert, like you're just setting yourself up to fail.
You can call yourself an expert. If it doesn't rain, you're not much of an expert.
Right? I mean, exactly. Mother Nature is the only expert, right?
That's right. Unless your last name is Drury, then maybe you can call yourself an expert. But
well, I will say this though, the rewarding part of all this, and I may be jumping way ahead of our conversation, but the rewarding part of this is you do all this right, and then you get that traffic. You get that traffic just coming down through there day in and day out. Last year I could just pick the day, go sit in the stand, and I had choices because of it was a successful deer food plot, and I've never had that kind of success before. It just
100%. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, we're about halfway into this thing, and we got to give a couple of 3.
Hold on, Mike was telling us about expert.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let me just.
Mike's an expert, right?
Mike is an expert.
Not an expert. I'm not a pro. Hate the word professional. And the other thing is like, food plotting is not black and white. It is very gray. So I hate like you have to do this and you can't do that. Those are words we never use. So that I think that's what people relate to us because our approach is that, I mean, there's a million ways to do it. There's no black and white. There's not a day you have to plant it. There's not a way you have to plant it.
Well, you got so many different zones.
Oh gosh. Yeah. And like Joe uses a tractor. I use a rake. Tony uses a hand thing. So it's like,
Tony does not use hand things. I'm just saying.
Oh, I know. You know what I mean?
Tony's got more tractors than Kellogg's has cornflakes.
Mike's got no tractor. So there's a million ways to do it. So
I'm starting to feel like Mike is lobbying for a tractor pretty hard.
I've been trying for 28 minutes and 35 seconds. So
I know. Well, you got to hit that 60-minute mark. I mean, we'll see what happens.
60 minutes.
I'll keep begging.
My daughter just sent me a text, by the way, to say hi, Betsy. Thank you for watching, sweetheart. So anyway,
I love it.
Good.
So we got our giveaway.
We're about to give some stuff away.
Yeah, we got to get them at least trying to log in. So if you want to, we're going to do some giveaways. There's going to be some seed, and then there's a lot going on tonight. Like there's going to be 4 things giveaway. There'll be a TYM hat. I don't know if you see that. I mean, I can do my Vanna White. How about that? Huh?
Maybe we could deliver that to Mike with his new tractor.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Hey.
And then if you want to get a chance to win, it's hashtag domain outdoor. No S because he only got one door. Domain outdoor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put it here so you guys can see exactly what it is. And that way don't type it in wrong because it won't pick you for sure.
Boom.
Joe already up there doing it.
Hey, listen, times are tough.
Times are tough, right?
They're laying people off at the factory, so I need to see if I can't get some food plot seed.
Yep.
I won't win, but it would be kind of funny if I did come up.
Wouldn't it be kind of funny?
While we're doing this, let's go ahead and wish Mike a happy birthday. He just turned.
Oh yeah.
Would we turn Mike?
I just turned 40. Yeah, I know.
Gosh.
It's about to be Metamucilin bucks, not beers and bucks.
I know, right? I hear you.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
I hear you. Yeah, no, it's
you guys are the pups here.
Tony, we have a question from Jeff. Is Facebook included in the giveaway? I think it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what's going to happen is when we pick this, if you will go to Tony's Tony'sTractorAdventure.com and go to the go to the contact me page. You'll put your information in there. Whoever wins, don't everybody do it, because if you didn't win, I'm not. You're not. you got to win. But when you win, whoever wins, you'll go to that contact page and put your information in and send it to me, and that'll come to my email, and I'll make sure it gets to the right people.
We ship fast. You'll get it in plenty of time to plant. It'd be great.
Yep.
So speaking of time to plant, let's talk a little bit about that. So I did that video. I put it out on Sunday, and it's probably about a week old, maybe 7-8 days. I don't have lightning fast editing skills, and we get out as quickly as we can. But so I put out, God, I can't remember what it was. I think it was Green Machine, and I'd have to go back and look at it. But anyway, the seed was out. I did incognito around the perimeter. And then I was out there yesterday, and there's not one sprout. So it rained for about a day and a half.
Okay.
And then it went nuclear hot for about a week plus.
Hundreds, 90s?
Yeah. Mid to high 90s. Do you think it nuked it? You would see something coming up.
Ideally, we don't start growing plots in 90s to 100s. Now, with that said, seeds are resilient. They really are. They're pretty dang hardy. Typically, it takes more than that to nuke a seed, honestly. Okay. Especially if I assume you tilled and disked and cultipacked and planted in cultipacked.
Oh, it looked beautiful.
Scenarios like that, you're normally in pretty good shape.
Hey, let me hijack the show for just a second.
Yeah,
it's worth it. So this is my buddy. I deployed with him. I got to tell a quick story about this guy. He's a little bit salty. He's deployed more than once, and we are in Afghanistan, and we get off this little bus and go to the chow hall. And right as we walk in, some rockets come in across the way, and he's ordered his eggs there, and everybody drops and hits the ground except Sergeant Gregory, because he's kind of salty now. And he looks over at the guy behind the grill going, "Hey man, you're burning my eggs." And I'm like, bless his heart.
I love this guy.
Yeah. He's like, he's been there, done that so many times. He just didn't get worried about it. So
no big deal.
Sergeant Gregory. So I hate I put you on
Sergeant Gregory.
But
thank you for your service, sir.
Thanks for your service.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
This is fantastic.
I'll never forget that. Hey man, you're burning my eggs. And he's Southern boy too, from Tennessee, and he just said it so perfectly. And I was like, I busted out laughing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Sorry. I apologize for that. I couldn't pass that up.
Please never apologize for stories like that.
I think what Mike was telling me is that my food plot's going to be fine.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, if it stays 90s to 100s,
we're good now.
A little risky, but if it looks like we're going to get a nice little kind of cold front across the whole U.S.
I've got clover. We have 6 springs around my where my food plots are at. And so even on the driest part, where I rake the seed in, I got clover already coming up and some radishes.
Okay. Radishes grow fast.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. And I drove down there today and went in my side-by-side and ran 3 deer off.
Tell them to hold off for a bit, let it grow.
Yeah.
So check this out. So Kevin Fee, what a gentleman. So this is a lot about the community that we're building all together. Yeah. Kevin wants to let Southern Girl know that she misspelled domain outdoor so that she has a fair chance. I mean, that's a gentleman, Kevin.
Love that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man.
We should send Kevin a jug of seed just for being nice.
I agree. At your expense, 100%.
Yeah.
He seems like a no BS kind of guy. Maybe we should send him a jug of no BS.
There you go.
I like it. I just put some of that out yesterday.
Let's do it. Kevin, reach out to Tony. We'll send you a jug of no BS for being a good human.
Yep. Just Tony'sTractorAdventure.com and then hit the contact page. And yeah, Kevin's a good dude. Now, his son is working on being a YouTuber, and I've been giving him a little tutelage, and he's going to be the next big thing.
Well, Crowd Papaw's in here. Wheeler Farm is saying that Kevin's just flirting. So,
but hey,
hey, listen, game recognized game, right?
Yeah.
We know that kind of
I love it.
All right, so
I appreciate all the veterans on here. I'm the son, nephew, and grandson of veterans of, Vietnam, Korea, World War II, and World War I. You heard it right.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Wow.
So cool stuff there. I appreciate everybody that put it on the line for us. So thank you.
So going back to what we were talking about, domain on your website, Tony, can you pull up the selection charts? Because I think that when we start talking about seed, especially like what to plant, I think that's usually a big question, and this is kind of a leading question. So I know you really, you could plant brassicas in one field probably 2 years in a row, but you really don't want to do it more than that.
Yep.
So when you go into selection
why
charts,
not?
No, go into selection charts. Well, I was going to let Mike tell us. No, up
underneath domain logo.
There you go.
This is my first time, man.
I love this. This to me is so helpful. It goes through good pH, bad pH. Do you want an annual or perennial? Like, man, that should be at every store that sells your stuff, because everyone just wants to see what the plant on the package looks like. And
these are the questions we get. So like our job is to try to answer them, because really the questions here are the reason people can fail sometimes, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
If you plant brassicas in full shade, not going to work. If you plant, or if you have a wetter environment, you want to stick to your perennials, clovers and chicories.
Well, the clover seems like my area.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to help solve problems before there were problems, if that makes sense, in this scenario here. And like you said earlier, what do I do? I've never planted before. I'm a first timer. Start there. Go to the selection chart. Take a look at it. See what.
So maybe by me going out and spending like $500 on every kind of seed, I kind of messed up. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, not if you ask me. I mean,
yeah.
Listen, my deer, when I eat my deer this year, it's only going to be like $235 a pound.
Oh, I never talk about the price of per pound of venison. I'd be better off buying a whole herd of cattle.
Right.
Honestly,
but it's so fun though. It's the hunt fun. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, Mike, do you mind talking a little bit about it? I think a lot of it has to do with mold, bacteria, and fungus if you plant brassicas too many years in a row.
A lot of times it's disease and nutrients. Those are the two things. And here's the thing too, like I'm not a black and white guy. I know people that have planted Big Sexy 5 years in a row on the same plot, and it's done great. But
it's got to do with your soil, I'm sure.
100%. Yeah. Where are you located? What's the natural like soil environment? What are you adding to it? There's a lot of factors. And then typically, to Joe's point, like 2 years in a row of brassicas, and we try to rotate them out. And we'll rotate them into like what I like to do. And I'll do this even on a yearly basis. Sometimes is like I'll plant mother load in the spring. So mother load is a mix of legumes. So it's beans, peas, plants that fixate nitrogen and high in protein. So deer eat those when they're growing. They like protein when they're growing. And oftentimes I'll plant that in a smaller plot. They'll decimate it by late August, early September. I'll till it in and I'll plant Big Sexy, which needs nitrogen. So I use one variety of plants to increase the nitrogen in the soil. Then I plant another one to then take it from the soil. So in scenarios like that, where you've got rotations, a lot of times you can get away with planting the same thing over and over again, as long as you rotate in and out.
So for a first time plot, what I've always liked to do, and again, this may be right, wrong, or indifferent, but it's been successful for me, is that like if I find a place where I need to build soil, I'll usually lean towards brassicas, turnips, radishes, anything like that, where there's going to be something that's going to break down. It's going to encourage worms. It's going to encourage, insects, and as well as deer, and, the pee, which is going to, be urea. There's going to be droppings, which is going to like all those different things. And when you go till that, you're kind of building your soil up.
build up
and your
organic matter.
all the organic matter in there. And that seems to be real successful too. And, when you start to do this and you start to think about it more as a science than you do just like trying to get some deer in here, that's when you get addicted to it. But that's also where you realize how much money you can save on the backside of not having to keep nuking it with fertilizer, or something to make stuff come up, because, God created this thing for a reason. And if you kind of figure some of that stuff out, which that chart does a great job. That's why I really like that chart. I keep going back to it. I think it really helps people a starting point.
Yeah. And I mean, people make fun of us. We've got like 9,000 products. That's because all of us humans are different in how we do things and why we do them. Like for instance, a Hall Pass, another product that you plant. I mean, in most places you're planting it now through October. It's a late planter, but it's a type of product where, to your point about fertilizer, doesn't require much to get started. It's grains. It's got a couple types of clovers that fixate nitrogen. It's got your radishes, your turnips, plants that break up compaction, pull nutrients into the upper level of soil, help suppress weeds. They do a lot of cool things. But the nice thing about Hall Pass is it kind of starts you out on a chemical-free, fertilizer-free program for a while, because the rye and the wheat and the clovers come back next spring. You could roll it and add more clover to it. You could do a bunch of different things to that where really you wouldn't have to do a whole lot for a while. So there's a kind of there's something for everybody on here. No matter how you want to plant it, where you want to plant it, what your intent is. Like I said,
so you can scroll down, like if you scroll down a little bit, Tony, where it says like fall combo starter pack, no-till combo starter pack. You have your soil test. I just think that's smart, man. I think it's really helpful.
Where is the procrastinator?
That's it. Anything you plant right now goes into the procrastinator.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you had switchgrass too.
Yeah, that's RC Big Rock. So RC Big Rock is a newer strain of switchgrass. It's the tallest growing switchgrass out of all of them. It can get to 6 to 8 feet tall in 2 years.
That's great around a tower blind. I need to talk to you about that.
Yeah, so we carry two kinds, and the reason being is the cave-in rock that we have grows 3 to 4 feet tall. So it's more of like a habitat style mix, whereas switchgrass is more of a concealment or barrier mix. I mean, 6 to 8 feet tall, it doesn't offer a ton of bedding because deer can't see. And if you're hunting birds or upland, it's too tall. So I mean, each one has its fit, if you will. So, but it's a fast growing switchgrass. Switchgrass lasts forever. That's why it's expensive.
Let's have some fun questions. Let's see. We had a question from Who's Your Handyman. He wants to know, how many meat or rack hunters? Are you a meat or a rack hunter?
Oh, we had this. I had this conversation. We kind of had this conversation earlier. I got ripped on for like 6 months on YouTube and TikTok and everything because I told my buddy, I said, "You can have your booners, man. I'll shoot the 120s, 30s, and 40s because I like shooting deer. I like eating deer. There's always 1 or 2 deer in our freezer. I hunt legally, but I shoot enough of them where it gets me through the year. So I'm a classic blend. My first deer I ever shot was a little forkhorn, and the second deer I ever shot was a little forkhorn, and then I think I shot another forkhorn. And then now most of the deer I shoot are a little bit bigger. I like to kind of manage the property I hunt just because I like to, so I'll shoot does instead. But I support every human being that loves to shoot deer like I do. I'm a blend. I'm a classic blend of meat and antlers.
Man, there's nothing better when a buddy of yours shoots a young deer and you get to give him a hard time about it, but then you also get to eat it.
They taste better. They taste better.
Man.
I shoot does. Oh, I get grief for that because
you shoot whatever. Hey, listen, if you're going to go shoot a doe, you shoot. So here's this is a little.
I think it tastes better.
Here's a little tip that a lot of people don't know. People argue with me about this all the time. If you're say opening rifle season, it's like the first week in November. If you're going to go out there and you're after a target buck and you see like a sold doe comes out, shoot that doe. If the weather's right to where she'll be okay and the meat's gonna be fine for a couple hours, shoot that doe and watch what happens. That's when the magic happens. Don't get down from your stand and go collect the doe. Like seriously, you'll be amazed at how many times you'll punch 2 tags in one day. Because a nice buck you've never seen before will come out there and be like, oh look, she's just laying there. I wonder what she's doing. Have you ever heard people do that, Mike?
I have. I don't know if it was intentional.
It was a accidental discharge on the firearm.
Well, I mean, they intentionally shot the doe, but I don't think they did it for any other reason than like I want to shoot the doe. And then I was like, I got 2 more hours to hunt. I'm just gonna wait, and then oh wow, bang.
Yeah.
So that's happened plenty of times.
Seriously, give that a shot sometime, and you'd be surprised.
We get asked a lot, and it's a fascinating question. If you're gonna hunt does, so you're gonna go doe hunting, do you hunt them early season or do you hunt them late season?
Are you asking me? I hunt them season. I hunt them the season.
Just whenever. Okay. Yeah. Because some people like specifically like targeting does. And personally, like I like to do it in the late season. However, that's also post rut, right? So there's some dynamics there.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't necessarily like field dressing a doe that's pregnant.
Yeah. I never have.
Yeah, I haven't either, but there's a reason for that. I have friends that have, and that would just be really hard for me.
That would be hard for me too. As I age,
it must be very cold. I don't know.
It's
just food.
I mean, as I age, like I said, I love shooting deer. I shoot 2, 3, 4 a year.
What do you guys think?
Every year.
What of our viewers or people out here watch us? What do you guys think?
Just curious.
Yeah, just curious. What you think?
Some people are like, I don't want to hunt them early season because I don't want to mess up the woods and whatever.
But we have such an overabundance of deer. Not everybody's like us. We have they do billions of dollars in crop damage around us, and farmers are begging us to kill them because they don't have a natural predator. We are their natural predator, and
we have wolves and bears up here. So
we don't have wolves. The wolves couldn't make it. All we have is coyotes, and they might get a small one, but they are sickly. But they're not going.
Couldn't make it here.
Yeah, they reintroduced wolves, turkey, whitetail, and coyote, and because they couldn't get the wolves. I don't know. They gave them like the shot for I think it's distemper. Is that what it is?
Well, could be.
Anyway, the immunity didn't carry down to the pups, and so they all died out.
I love shooting coyotes. That's one of my favorite things in the world to do. And every hunt's a coyote hunt.
They need to be shot because they don't have a predator and they're overpopulated. And since
we put down, I think we put down 7 of them opening weekend of rifle last year.
We don't have anymore,
and we're not overrun with coyotes either.
If I see a coyote at daybreak on opening day rifle, I'm shooting it
100% every time.
We don't have quail anymore because of coyote. That we literally you don't hardly see any doves anymore.
Sure,
and that's because of the overpopulation of coyote.
Huh?
Who's your handyman? Asked, do you have land I think it's land deprivation. But we're a hay farm, so we don't like at this point. We're not. You can't really say anything's. The deer taking the hay down.
I know a lot of farmers around. Around our area we call them egg tags around here. Where they can shoot. I don't know if there's a specific number, but it's a lot typically. But yeah.
There's the answer to your question there, Joe.
Yep.
There you go. Riverside Wooden Farm.
Yep. Huh. Exactly right. It's
I'm going to try that. I got no shame.
The challenge in Tennessee is on the opening, gun opener, it could be 20 degrees or it could be 75 degrees. Yeah. If it's 75 degrees, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
If it's 20 degrees, game on.
We're the same, but it could be 20 below.
You have a deer sickle. It's already ready for the freezer.
Then you're fine. Yeah.
Hey, we need to do a giveaway, Tony. We need to look like I'm sitting here looking at the time.
Oh yeah, my goodness. I'm into this though. I'm really enjoying this. So let me get the giveaway screen up, and then I will.
Mike, you're a good interview, buddy.
Yeah.
We've blown through
I try.
We were talking about the food plot while I'm getting this up. The food plots, and it's such a big deal where you're at because my buddy Hank is in Florida.
BFF number 2.
Yeah, BFF number 2 there. He doesn't. They don't even go into rut and I think you think that's January.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Alabama too. Alabama, they go into rut January, February. It's crazy.
Yep. All right, down there you're planting in October. So.
All right, here we go.
All right. Don't hold on. Everybody remember hashtag domain outdoor. Go ahead and get it in the comments to be, going once, going twice.
I'm going to get mine in there.
Let's do the 5520 giveaway. No.
Only 20. There's 40 something people in here. And how many likes we got? Let's see. 21 people have put in there. So that your odds are really good.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wade said, let's do the 5520 giveaway.
No
brother.
dice. No dice. Here we go. We got a couple more going in.
Yeah, there you go. Make sure Jeff, or excuse me, Justin Goff, but you got to take the capital letters out. It's all lowercase. Yeah. So it's that picky. So,
and he also has a space after the hashtag.
Yeah, don't put a space after the hashtag. Very, very, very picky. I want you to get a fair shot because we're getting ready to put
in there, bud.
Joe's out of experience. Yeah, man, you got to just take that shot, brother. I had venison for dinner tonight. I had venison for dinner yesterday.
How did you make it?
So I buy all of our beef from a guy who's a retired General Motors executive, and his whole dream in retirement was to raise cows. So he raises Wagyu, prime USDA Wagyu cow. I mean, it's the most amazing beef in the world.
Yeah,
but it's too fatty for burgers, and venison's really too lean to be a good burger. So mixing them 50-50 is like burger bliss, man. It's wonderful.
Cool. I'll have to try that.
It's a great blend.
Fat too. That's exactly what we did.
I've never liked venison when people add like pork fat to it or something. Like I like it just super lean because if I'm going to put it in chili, I don't want any fat with it. I just want to put it in the chili.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yep, I think you got that one wrong, Bub. You need to take that dash out.
Yeah.
Bob Purrs just got in from Bale and Hay. Long day. Welcome in, Bob. Glad you're here, brother. Thank you for coming in.
Yes, sir. Yeah, appreciate you. Well, a lot of new faces here. And a lot of people that come here every Tuesday, and we appreciate you guys coming back. So real quick, I want to shout out my buddy here, Joe the Farmer. If you guys have not subscribed to his channel, by all means, please do. Joe the Farmer. He's on YouTube and Facebook. And then we got Mike here from Domain Outdoor. He's got a podcast called Beers and Bucks.
Beers
and Bucks. I found it was I just searched podcast Beers and Bucks, and it was the first thing up. And so. Absolutely.
And Tony's Tractor Adventure. Don't forget.
I won't turn the subscribe down. I won't turn it down. We're on Facebook, Instagram.
We're allowing subscribers this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're not charging this week either.
We got 26. Last call, guys. We're going to give away.
As I send it, we've given enough time. Let's go ahead and
do it. Telling you. Here we go. Here it goes. I see my name.
There is Mike Lindahl.
Yay.
Oh, let's go!
Oh, that's awesome. We talked about
I need some sound effects here. I need the sound effects. All right, we're gonna draw again. Joe, you can't win that. You can't.
No, it's okay.
He doesn't count.
Yeah. All right. We just put it in there to show you what to
That's amazing.
That's funny. We talked about wouldn't it be great if I won? I wouldn't take it. It'd just be pretty cool if I won.
So funny.
Who's your handyman?
Listen, I'm going to be up his way in Maine on the 13th to a tractor show at Turner, Maine. SR1 is having their tractor show in Turner, Maine. So any of my Maine buddies up there, you need to come up there and visit with me. I'll be up there for it'll be a Saturday and Sunday. I think it's the 14th and 15th. And so he's got my he can just text me. So
what are we gonna send? Who's your handyman? Whatever I want.
Yeah. What do you want to send him?
Let's send him some Big Sexy.
Tell us what's in that blend and why Big Sexy.
Big Sexy is the OG. It's the original gangsta. It's the first mix we ever came out with. It checks all the boxes. The most gripper and grins come from Big Sexy. It's got 4 unique plant varieties. They grow at different stages, which is kind of something that we like to do. When I first got into this a long time ago, people complain that it's not cold, the deer aren't eating my food plot, or it's too hot down here, the deer don't eat it. So we've always tried to integrate warm and cold food sources into everything we do. And Big Sexy is one of the easiest mixes to plant, provides the most tonnage, has taproot plants, big green leafy plants, grows fast, deer love it. It's got an awesome name. It's really got it all.
It's basically probably named after me, but so if if my plot fails, is that what I should use? Should I put that in there?
It depends. I mean,
or just hit it with forage oats. I mean, because I've got some forage oats I could throw out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I always say let's give it a couple weeks, see where we're at, because in Tennessee, between you and me, I wouldn't have even planted my own plots yet.
Well, in Tennessee, you learn that we always plant twice. I mean, because here's the thing: if I didn't plant, it would have rained great, and then we'd have a drought. And then, this way, it's like, you know what? I've got the field prepped. Worst case scenarios, I'll go out there with a drag, turn it upside down where it's aggressive, 100%. Drag it, spread it, call it a day. So
forage oats, green machine, bombshell. Those three are really fast. Big Sexy is a no fail like that. Yes, I mean that's an obvious option too.
So he's in Central Hoosier State, Indiana.
Perfect. Yeah, he's got 20 days.
That'd be a good choice for him.
Yeah, you can plant it today, or you can plant it September 25th.
I mean, I you guys forgive me. There's so many names and remembering exactly what state you're in. So, but anyway,
Tony, you're in Tennessee, Tony. Just in case.
Yeah, but I am going to Maine, and for some reason I was thinking he was in Maine.
Yeah, I mean, Maine's getting to that point where it's getting a little bit colder. We're going to start to shift more to grains because they're going to grow faster.
Right.
But Indiana, I like September.
So go ahead and do me a favor there, Hoosier Handyman, and put in Tony'sTractorAdventure.com. There's a contact page there. Send me your shipping address and let me know, and I'll get that to Mike.
And then it's Tony's job to remember it's Big Sexy because I will forget.
Tell him it's Big Sexy. All right, we need to
delete your browse history and everything else because.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Don't type Big Sexy to Google. I don't know what happened.
Kevin Fee, he said Big Sexy Kevin Nash. He's a Tennessee guy too, isn't he? He played basketball at Tennessee, didn't he?
Yeah.
The wrestler Kevin Nash. I think he played. His nickname was Big Sexy as a wrestler, but I think he played basketball at University of Tennessee.
We need to give away this hat because it's already 8 o'clock. We've been on an hour already.
I will take the hat if that hat hits. I'm taking the hat.
We'll
I would too. I should enter.
Yeah.
Mike, type it in, man. Hey, listen, I've already won.
If you win it, I'll send
Everyone's
you one. I'll get you one for sure.
Everyone's a winner.
All right, here we go. Everybody typed in. Let's see, what do we got to type in again?
Domain outdoor.
Hashtag domain outdoor. Hashtag domain outdoor. All lowercase, all one word.
Well, thank you, Brian. Brian said they'll keep listening, keep on talking. We appreciate that, man. I'm just glad that people tune in and hear Tony and I yap with our friend Mike. So thank you.
This is awesome. I love this deer hunting stuff. I know Brian does. He's a big hunter.
It just kind of runs in our blood.
Yeah.
I'm
really getting back into it. All right, who's it going to be?
Bob Purrs.
All right, he come off the hayfield. Look at him.
That's right. I'm glad you came, Bob. See.
Yeah. Again, go to Tony'sTractorAdventure.com and the contact page. Tell them you won the hat.
Love that.
All right. Let me get that.
Can always use a new hat. You sweat through enough of them.
That's a fact. This summer was rough, man. We had like 101, 102 degree temperatures like 3 days in a row. And Joe kept calling me like crying and stuff. It was bad. He's got an air conditioned tractor.
Oh, what?
I do. And it's still hot.
It's still hot. Yeah. Listen, I got dusted out doing the food plot.
So Mike and I had a conversation about tractors a little while ago. And Mike, what are you looking for in a tractor? So like if you wanted to buy one, or if you wanted to get one for free, or if you wanted to have someone in the comment section give you theirs, what would you do with it? Because you said you wanted something relatively small.
Yeah, compact. Because a lot of the food plots I plant are still quite small, but also like the access trails to and from them are also like ATV trails, right?
The great thing about tractors is that you could just build bigger trails.
And I mean, so I could be looking at this completely wrong, right?
I think you are. I think
I need a giant tractor. And I'll just create bigger trails and bigger food plots.
So this is a shameless plug for my sponsor, but I do think this is if you're going to put a average guy with an average half-ton truck and a trailer, but you want to do some real work, that right there is a food plot machine.
Ooh. Yeah,
that's the T25. I have that tractor. That is my favorite tractor. 25 horsepower. I put a 5-foot tiller behind it and go for days with a 5-foot tiller. Just don't
They
even
can
worry
handle
about it.
that tiller pretty well, huh?
Yeah, and a grapple. Yeah, it's just a little beast. I call it the little bulldog. That's
I've never ran one of those.
Mine's actually named Rufus. So
I just think that if you're going to buy your first machine, you're in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
So Wisconsin, I mean, you probably have snow to deal with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you probably have man, I would get 10 horsepower more than you think you need, and I'd get a cab because you'll never regret it.
You told me both those things when we had this conversation last time.
And I'll tell you next time we have the conversation, because I'm telling you, man, like it's all right. Let's just say you're tough. You're tougher than me, which I'll concede that point. It gets to the like the 3515C. That would be a great tractor for you because you could run a 6-foot implement, the hydrostat, and the air conditioner's not going to be affected.
I wouldn't run a 6-foot tiller on that.
I would all day long.
Nah, it's pushing it. I mean, you can, depends on the soil type, but
I would run a 6-foot on there. You may not blaze through it, but I mean, if you're doing a half-acre plot or 1-acre plot, you'll be fine.
I don't know.
But this is why I say that, Mike, is that you're gonna get into a thing of ground bees, and they're gonna sting you to death, or you're gonna have to shower the second, like every time you go to one of your places to work the plots, you get nasty. Like you just. But when you have the cab, you can go there, get out of the cab, and take your wife to dinner.
Like, so are you telling me that I'm not supposed to like have mud come off of me in the shower each time?
Brother, I'll tell you what, I can't tell you how many times when I had my open station, I have a 2515 ounce open station. I love it. Like on a nice day, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
But you're in Wisconsin, brother.
Blowing
how many nights
below zero?
Yeah. How many days, if you're going to be out there blowing snow, you put your AirPods in, you listen to some music, you've got the heat going, you take your jacket off because it's getting a little warm in there.
Yeah.
Like
a little AC never hurts when it's 100 degrees. It's good. All right.
Yep.
All right.
And it's like another $3,000 or $4,000, like over the life of owning the tractor.
It's really not a bad investment.
Yeah, I mean that's way less than I would have gathered.
I ask people, would you buy a truck without air conditioning?
Touche.
No.
Touche.
Yeah. So it's just
you make a valid point. You've made the same point twice now. I'm starting to believe you.
Yeah, and Kevin, you're saying cabin trees don't mix. Kevin, you don't hit the trees with your tractor. That's why cabin trees don't mix. Pole saw, and if there's a big limb in the way, use that bucket in front, brother, and just tear that limb down.
Me and Kevin are on the same sheet because when you're clearing land, like we bought unimproved land completely, and I'm pretty sure by now I would have bought at least 2 doors and a couple of windows, and those things are like $1,000 a piece. So now I'm getting to the point where my land is improved enough that I would feel pretty comfortable with having a cab tractor. But when we first got it, the 474 was absolutely the way to go open station, because I mean I have slapped the side of the tractor and the glass so many times. That's my
Wheeler Farm just made like I've made this point a million times too. Everyone's like, well, I don't want to hit the glass on my tractor. Well, hell, you want to hit yourself in the head with the limb? Break the glass, man.
Listen, it's cheaper. I'm just saying it's cheaper to knock yourself out than it is to put that glass in.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, go rent a skid steer with a forestry mulcher, clear it up in 2 days, and then maintain it. And I think you'd enjoy it. Fly High Edits is in the house. What's up, Fly High Edits?
The missing?
He's up there.
There he is.
Travis Montgomery.
Guys, we're over our hour, and we can go as long as we need to, but we need to talk some more about some food plot, but we need to give something else away.
Let's give away another jug of seed.
A jug of seed. What are we going to give away this time?
Ooh.
You want to base it upon where they're from?
No, let's just do some Green Machine.
That's
my go-to. You can plant that anywhere right now.
So I put Green Machine out. I have a plot. If y'all watch that video, if not, hey, go back and watch that video from Sunday. I'm sure would appreciate that. But anyway, I have a tower blind, and there's kind of a trail that I mowed going down to a 1-acre plot, which is where I was planting Incognito, which if you guys don't know, Incognito is like a sorghum and an Egyptian wheat, which is going to grow high and it's going to shade out, a big buck who's sitting out in the woods who can just see in the plot what's there. Now, if that comes up, he has to come into the plot to see what's there. And then everything else was planted with kind of a blend. I took my Baumelite brush mulcher, which is like a forestry mulcher for the back of your tractor. And I'm telling you guys, that video should be out in about 4 or 5 days, but I brush mulched that path to where it just turns up the first 1 inch of soil. And I'm going to tell you why. That first 1 inch of soil is all 100% dirt now. And I spread Green Machine through there. I overseeded Green Machine like crazy because we have a rain coming, hopefully at some point in 2024.
Yes, I want to switch pages here real quick.
But hold on. The reason why you do 1 inch of soil is if you go deeper than that, that's when you start to get all the weed seeds and all the things that are dormant. If you just scratch the top of it, either with a drag or something else, you're going to have a lot less weed competition by doing that.
Amen, brother.
Oh, look at that handsome devil.
Hey.
Don't put your minds over it, but look how dirty this tractor is in this. Oh, yeah.
Very convincing argument for the cab.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, you that's
very,
right.
Very convincing argument for the cab. I'll say I'll concede that.
And my Hornady ammo hat was perfectly clean.
He makes a lot of great points about his cab,
Well, I will say this though, that the when you first start out, if it depends on your land. Our land was very rough, very steep, and I just want to point this out. Give you a visual. So your tractor is low center of gravity, and if the tractor is leaning over like this on a hillside, trees grow straight up. So there's this intersection, and if you're in a really tight area, you just can't get through some of that stuff. And now I can, and we've got trails built. I feel really comfortable where I can just keep it improved. But
yeah, Wade's right. The T474 pretty much same as the 3515. So, and I mean, if you're looking at these at some point,
I love the 474, and 474 cab is nice.
Yeah, it's been a great machine.
Always looking at them. A lot of window shopping when it comes to tractors for me.
Yeah, and
there is, man. And
having the backhoe is a big deal too with the cab. It's a little less than convenient with the cab, or the backhoe.
Yeah. So
that was a good point there.
Well, do we want to do another giveaway?
Let's give away the Green Machine. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. How many giveaways we already done now? This will be our third.
Well, you did a hat, and Kevin got Big Sexy,
right?
Or no,
Kevin got no BS for helping.
That's right. Kevin got no BS and
being a good guy.
Yeah, the Hoosier State got the Big Sexy.
That's right, and Bob got the hat. Oh, Dale Howells is in here. What's up, Dale?
Oh, look there.
Tony.
Guys, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. For two.
I'm sorry that you can't. You guys are not going to get it, but I guess I can't win either.
All right, Wade. So don't buy a backhoe. Get a tractor and Mini X. If they were the same price, I think everyone would do that. Mini X's, I would love to have a Mini X, but man, they're expensive.
Come on now. Here we go.
John Smoka.
John Smoka.
Congratulations,
Tony'sTractorAdventure.com. Hit the contact page. Tell me who you are, your shipping address, and what you won. What did he win?
Green Machine.
Green Machine.
That's a doozy.
And what's in Green Machine again? It's
one of my faves. It's got two types of grains. It's got a winter rye and a winter oat. And then it's got winter peas, which will be the first thing your deer are going to eat. Yep. And then it's got radish and a variety of rapeseed in it. Fast to grow. It kind of grows in stages. The grains start, and then the others will pop in there. So
when we were talking earlier about the things that set you guys apart, and I talked a little bit about the plot enhancing liquids that you guys have. I talked about the sheet that you have, the seed selector. But the other thing is that is unique, I think, to what you guys are doing, to where you're creating a blend that's going to come up at different points in time, not just like, boom, it's here, go hunt and you're done.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that deer, man, it's kind of like that 4 to 6 week mark, or really, I guess 3 to 6 weeks. Like, they like to eat young stuff.
Oh yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm going to leave you here for just a second. I'm going to step out. Okay.
Yeah, man. So if it's continuously coming up, correct me if I'm wrong. Just like sprouts.
There's a lot of reasons we do it. That's one of them. I mean, a lot of us plant small food plots, and one of the challenges with small food plots is your deer eating it down to dirt. And sometimes we can't avoid that because of a variety of reasons, right? But one of the ways we try to help avoid it is by providing more forage that grows at different stages, because deer, also to your point, like, they eat things when they're immature. especially the first half of the season, I'll call it. The earlier in the year, they like the immature plants because they're higher in protein when they're growing. So when you have plants that grow at different stages, you have deer picking through the plot instead of just demolishing the whole thing all at once. On the flip side, as a hunter, I like to plant stuff that's going to encourage deer to be in it more frequently, more often. So again, that helps with that too. I never want a person to say, "Oh, Joe, it's too warm, the deer aren't going to eat my plot," or "Oh, Joe, it's too cold, the deer aren't going to eat my plot." I want the deer just to eat the dang plot. So that's another reason we do it. And then there's companion crops. There's some crops that grow well with others. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it and a ton of benefits by doing that. We are big time variety people. Deer love variety. Humans love variety. Your soil likes variety. Your hunting is going to like variety because of how deer operate. So there's a million reasons why. It really helps the effectiveness of the product too.
No, you could tell you guys are hunters because I think there's, I don't want to throw shade at any other companies, but you can tell when people are, if they're actually doing the things that they're selling.
Eat, breathe, live, sleep, everything in between it. And everybody that works for us does too. I mean, I always tell the guys at the shop, they're crazier about it than I am. I mean, they're psychos when it comes to hunting. It's so much fun to watch their passion. I mean, they are truly some of the most passionate hunters I've ever seen in my life. It's so much fun. So,
hey, Fly High Edits and Ramey Gillespie, it's Domain
No S.
Outdoor, no S, and
Strip
Strip 199, no S. You still have time before the next giveaway. We're gonna do one more.
One more.
So, one question I wanted to give you or ask you is, all right, you have one weapon to go hunt with. What's your favorite?
Archery.
You like
question?
Big archery guy?
100%. Yeah. I mean, I own plenty of guns. I like shooting them. I shoot deer with them, but I love hunting with my bow. Love it. Yeah.
Is it because of the challenge? It's a harder hunt, or
so I'm a big golfer. And
you are a glutton for punishment, man.
There's some synergies there, right? There's synergies there. It's like you're trying to reach this goal and it doesn't exist, like perfection with shooting and with golf. So it kind of drives you to keep pushing further and keep trying. And I like the challenge of it. And I don't know. There's also an intimacy with your
100%
with the animal that you're chasing. You got to get close. Like I'm going on elk hunt next week, and you're not going to shoot any elk at 500 yards. You got to get in close on them. And I love that connection to it that you share and have with archery. I also think too, it kind of drives when you get so close, but it doesn't happen. It really pushes you to continue to get better and do better. So that was
There's something about when you're hunting a deer with a bow too, and you can hear them pulling the plot up with their teeth. Oh, yeah. Like it's audibly like, it's just like, you're close then.
Yeah. When you hear their heartbeat, that's when you know you're doing it.
You got a question there. Can you see it?
Was it the one about the small plot? Joe?
Yeah. Did we already answer that?
I have a small 20 by 30 in the middle of the woods, heavy shade. Once the leaves fall, a decent amount of sun. What would you recommend? You might not like my answer, Joe. But I would, in most scenarios with this type of food plot where it's heavily shaded, I would recommend planting it in the early spring. Doesn't help you right now, obviously. But the reason we do that is even the most shade tolerant plants need photosynthesis to grow, establish roots, establish stems. So what we do is we'll plant them in the early spring pre-canopy. Allows the seed to germinate, grow, develop roots, and fully establish. Then when you get your dense shade, your clovers, your chicories, like a hot chick mix or a no BS, can handle shade no problem. It's when you try to plant them in shade that they're going to grow. You're going to be really excited. You're going to send us pictures, and they're going to get these really long white stems, and they're going to tip over because they weren't able to get enough sunlight to properly photosynthesize, if you will.
Those are big words, man.
Yeah, I mean, we were using like $10 words on a $3 guy.
I know, I'm telling you. And you're going to struggle. So
that's a great answer, though. I mean,
so I mean, like I said, it might not help you right now. Now, if you send me a picture, I can look at it. You might have more sun than I think, but 20 by 30 is pretty small, which is totally fine. But in that scenario, plant it early. And then when your leaves fall on it in the fall, blow them off with a leaf blower. They'll keep blowing, or they'll keep growing. Or you could potentially, the second the leaves fall, blow off with a leaf blower and plant hall pass. The fall rye, winter wheat in there will germ in 50-degree soil temps. So that could be an option for you too.
So I asked this question last week to George, and I'm going to ask you also. If you could pick, or you can only hunt 2 days this year, calendar days, everything else, all things can be considered. What days would you hunt?
I always hunt Halloween. The last 2 years, I've killed my couple of really nice deer on Halloween. And then November 7th, for some reason, back-to-back years in Kansas, I killed deer in the same exact stand on the same exact day, back-to-back years, and it was November 7th. So those are the 2 days I love, Halloween and November 7th. Now,
those are the 2 days I was going to pick also.
If you threw me into Alabama, I would change my tune, obviously. So, that's...
You could change a lot of tunes.
Yeah, it's partially because of where I hunt and when I hunt, but those are two of my faves.
Quick there, Rami Gillespie, that you got to take the S off. It's Domain Outdoor, not with an S.
You did, yeah. She went back in there. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Got you.
Perfect.
So my son, he's a young man, and he's getting pretty proficient with a rifle. He's shooting a 6.5 Creedmoor like his old man.
That.
I love that round.
Yeah, me too.
And man, he's getting really good at it. And we're going to hunt Youth Weekend here in Tennessee, which is like I think it's the Saturday and Sunday before Halloween, which falls on a Tuesday this year. So I think it should be white hot. And we're actually going to hunt probably that box blind where I just planted all that green machine. And hopefully, I know he wants to shoot, he wants to top his old man, right out of the gate. But
what happens when you kill the biggest buck ever first? Do you lose some of the drive, or does it drive you more?
That's a great question.
I mean
you said, what's that, 170? You said it was 170, one behind you?
First buck ever kills a forkhorn. So, I mean,
after you shot the one behind you still like to shoot big deer. You still like shoot deer.
I always like to shoot big deer, but I mean, the first one, that first buck, if you walk out to the box blind and shoot a 170 on the first sit, does it like make you want to like push harder, or does it kind of like, okay, this is easy, on to the next thing?
I don't think, that's a great question, Mike. And I think that the right answer.
I don't know the answer.
You're not going to learn about deer, because a 170, something that grows to be 170 inches it's not a deer. That's not deer hunting. You're hunting a completely different animal at that point. Yeah. So if you're going to truly be a deer hunter and you're going to learn deer behavior, and, the first time you watch, you see 3 doe come out to a food plot, they start eating, and then they all stop.
That's what I do.
And they all stop and they look to their left. What do we do? Where as hunters, we're like, it's on. Like what's about to come out.
Yeah.
And you kind of learn those things. And I think that it would cheapen the experience, but if a 170 walks out, he's going to smack that 170.
I hope he does.
We're in Tennessee. A 170 probably will not walk out in Tennessee, but
I've seen some of your pictures.
We've got some pretty decent deer.
Really nice deer. Yep. I mean, I saw some big deer get shot a couple of weeks ago during the velvet season in Tennessee. So
yeah.
I mean, I know Tennessee can be a little different too, depending on what part you're in.
Absolutely.
The soil changes, the topography changes a little bit.
I think a lot of it, people think it's soil, but I think that does matter. But I also think a lot of it is we're a 2-deer state. And what are you and your neighbors doing? If you and your neighbors are mowing down every, 2-3-year-old deer, then you're not going to have big deer. But if you have a lot of people around you, like there's some, in Nashville, there's some areas around Oak Hill, and, I seek one actually killed a monster in Oak Hill. They killed one at East Nashville, like close to the projects, and it's just areas where there's cover and they get old.
I think in East Tennessee, in the mountains, there's not as much. They're going to eat off of the trees in the woods. They don't have any open fields. I found the deer there to be very small compared to what we have in Middle Tennessee and West Tennessee.
Sure. Well, and it's age, nutrition, genetics. Those are the 3 factors.
Yeah.
So,
right. Let's do one more giveaway, and then let's let Mike go on with his night, because Mike, you've been very generous with your time.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming. It's been really fun. I've enjoyed it.
Thanks for having me
too. And
sorry that I'm not the My Pillow guy.
Yeah.
Are you sorry? You're not?
I am not.
I bet your wife is not sorry that you're not.
Nobody's sorry. Let's be honest. Nobody's sorry.
But yeah, I mean, we would love to have you on again at some point. you know, and follow-up questions and stuff. This has been a lot of fun. And
keep asking for tractors, and you keep having me on.
That's right.
Man, hey.
So listen, I really wanted to, you know, I planted my food plot a couple of weeks ago, and I really wanted to have it, you know, some pictures to show you, but unfortunately we've been in a severe drought. So all I could really show you is a couple of pieces of clover and a couple of small, you know, turnips and dirt. That was pretty much what I could show you.
September offers some rains to the greater Tennessee area for you.
We're not doing so well right now. I'm just saying.
We've had probably the best growing summer of our entire lives here in Wisconsin. It rains.
We had a wonderful, you know, wonderful rain all the way up until we had a really wet July, which is very unusual. But it went from like very unusually wet to like no rain for a month straight.
Well, I mean, thankfully, I don't know if it makes you feel any better, but thankfully you still have plenty of time in your planting window.
Oh yeah,
if a guy needed to improvise. So
yeah,
he wants to link to the silk pajamas. Wade is a big fan of the silk pajamas.
See the guy that asked the pillow tree stand too?
Yeah, he's one of the funniest guys you'll ever talk to.
Yeah, Wade marches to a different drum, and I like it. I'm here for that comedy.
I love the beat.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Let's do it.
What are we giving away?
What are we giving away?
Mike, hold on, Mike. Did you put your name in there yet?
No.
You got to put your name in there because, like, go ahead and just type in if you can hashtags Domain Outdoor, because Tony and I have already won, and if you win, that's the trifecta, man. That would just be awesome.
That would be amazing.
Hey, Brian, is your stuff up yet, and when did you put it out? Because I just got mine done about 2 weeks ago, and it's like I said, I got a little bit of clover and a little bit of turnips coming up, and other than that, I don't have anything.
That clover is going to take a long time.
Yeah, well, listen, we're doing pretty good because.
All right, I'm in.
There you go.
There we go.
We're doing pretty good because of the fact that we do have springs, and our water table is like literally inches under the ground.
Yeah, but clover is going to take a long time to establish. That's long in the spring, and then that's.
Well, I had it planted there last year too, though. So hopefully, that comes back up. All right, here we go.
Send it.
Full send.
Djembe. That's a great drum, African drum.
I don't
remember, Wade. I was a musician most of my life, so.
Ah,
199.
I thought I was going to get it again.
I had a good feeling about that one too.
Yeah.
What are we giving away this time?
I don't know.
Whatever I want.
Whatever you want.
That's dangerous.
You're giving it away.
Let's do Wingman.
Wingman.
So tell the story of Wingman real quick. So I'm fascinated.
Well, let me give them instructions real quick. Go to Tony'sTractorAdventure.com and go to the contact page. Put your name and your shipping address and what you won, and I'll make sure it gets to the right place. All right, Wingman story. Sorry,
Wingman's brand new. It's super cool. We used a plant variety called kohlrabi, which most gardeners are familiar with, but deer prefer it, I swear, over anything else that there is. Both the green and the tube, but it's a bulb that grows 100% above earth and does not require cold weather for deer to be fascinated by it. And it's got a hybrid forage brassica, so a brassica in there that regrows as it's eaten. So it's not a perennial, it's an annual, but as deer eat it, it will regrow. And then it's got the kohlrabi in there. It's got a variety of rape and then a small amount of turnip as well. And it's got
it almost sounds like the perfect plot seed.
It's so good. Honestly, it's so good.
So that's what I planted. I planted Wingman with, I think it was Green Machine and Wingman is what I planted.
Okay. Yeah, it's such a good little mix. I planted it last year, and it may have been a coincidence, maybe not, but my target buck showed up opening night and the next day, all during daylight when I was gone, naturally. But they were just, I don't like to, they were walking through some other plots to get to this one, which, like I said, it's fascinating. It's fascinating.
Yeah. So what's the latest you can plant this? So it matures.
I mean, some of the plants in there can mature in as little as 60 days. So
Tennessee, if we're hunting for, November, December.
Yeah, I mean, you can plant it right now in Tennessee. You can plant it middle of the month in Tennessee. You can plant it end of the month. I honestly, even up here in Wisconsin, when I look at my 60-day forecast, it's pretty mild. I mean, September and October in Wisconsin are going to be growing months, and they were last year too. So as you go south, I mean, Tennessee, you're going to have growing weather for the next 2 months, easy.
Oh, yeah, we can like turnips and stuff will grow all the way into December.
100%. So people get so concerned, like, oh gosh, I'm running out of time to plant. Like I tend to have a different opinion of it.
So also, let me ask you a question real quick. I know we're getting late, but when like turnips, I've always heard this, and you tell me if you think it's true or not. Like after the first frost, the turnips sweeten, and the deer like them better.
Yeah, the bulb, anyways. I mean, the greens they're going to eat pretty much all the time. But basically, what happens in a turnip is, as it's growing, it stores up starch, and sometimes it can actually have a bitter taste to kind of naturally keep the deer away from it. And then once you get, it's not always the first frost, but a couple of them anyways, they'll go through a molecular change and it turns into sugar. And that higher energy level, synonymous with colder weather, deer are going to seek out more energy sources. So it's kind of twofold, but yeah, and they'll get a flavor for it. And typically, the colder the weather, the more deer are going to seek out those energy sources. So it makes sense.
He's still beating to the different drum, man.
Our boy Wade, man, he's on tonight.
I'm telling you, he's all about it.
Put the sauce down, Wade. Whatever's going on.
I mean, that's all I think about too, right? I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, I have got to call it a night. I get up very early in the morning.
Yeah, Mike, you've been generous with your time, my friend, and
I appreciate you both. Thanks for having me. Everybody else, and thanks everybody for their service. There's so many veterans on here.
Yeah, we have a lot of veterans that follow us.
Proud to be an American. Pretty cool stuff.
Well, thank you for what you're doing, man. Making food plottery enjoyable for people, and
I thought you were going to say making it great again.
Well, listen, making food plots great again. That would be a good hack.
You
should make it.
I love it.
I thought that's where you were going to go with it after I said I'm proud to be an American, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Make food plots great again, and you need a hat that says that. And it got to be red.
Yeah,
man, I'll tell you, we're in a world right now where everything is so polarizing that it's just nice to get on a on a little stream and talk about food plotting and deer hunting and the things that we're blessed to be able to do, and have all these folks come back here. We really appreciate you guys coming back, and tell your friends, man. Let's grow this thing because it's fun. I won't be here next week because next Tuesday I will be deer hunting, unless I tag out on Saturday. If I tag out on Saturday, then maybe we'll see if we can't throw a little show together, but maybe Tony's doing it by himself. I don't know. What's your plan, Tony?
Well, I'm going to wait and see where you're at, but I've got a special guest that may fill in for you. If you will fill in for you.
Hank?
Hank? No,
is it Hank?
I'm not going to say who, but we'll have a guest. Actually, Mike's going to come back and talk to me next week. He likes you. He likes you better than you.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, we'll have something for you next Tuesday. We're committed to this little get together for the foreseeable future. We're really having a good time with it. So I'm going to literally have the show and then get up the next morning at 3:00 in the morning and get on a plane and go to Maine. So
for your event,
be fun.
Heck yeah! Well, good luck, Joe.
I appreciate it. I'm going to Kentucky bow opener. So
that's right. Yeah. We're before we end, we're in Kentucky. Somebody asked me earlier. I'm in the Springfield area when I hunt, but
Lewisburg area.
Oh,
so
okay.
Close to the distilleries, and I'll be up there with George, Salt River Outfitters. And
yeah. Obviously, I should know that. Yeah, that's about.
Well, yeah, I started doing that. Honestly, we started. I think it was the year before COVID.
Okay.
Like 2019, I think was the first year I went, and there's a bunch of us up there, man. We just all get along, and it's just a lot of fun. Yeah, they're good people, and it's I like that. I learn a lot when I go there, so it's almost like it's like education, right? You go learn different things you can do, and I may shoot something, may not. If I tag out early, then I'll have Tuesday night free. But the only reason I wouldn't be here on Tuesday night, not because I don't want to be here, because I'm most likely going to be in a stand at this time.
I told him he needed to do a live from the stand. I
can try it
only. So yeah, you're hunting nights only.
Yeah, it's only night. So I mean, we'll see. I'd love to be with everybody. So
for you, little cold front moving through.
No call. Hey, we'll see what happens.
Big deer gonna die.
There's gonna be some big deer going down. So it's north winds though. So I don't know. We'll
That's
see.
So crazy. Ask George the last time he had a north wind on opener. He'll say never.
Well, yeah, he'll say some colorful words too. I mean, I think everybody enjoyed hearing it. But man, that guy, he knows more about whitetails than anyone I've ever met. Like I'll say this because he's not here because I don't want his head to get any bigger. But man, that guy, you tell him there's a 180 to 200 inch deer somewhere, he'll find a way to kill it. Like it's just he's got him so dialed in
that way for a long time. So you learn it. You got to learn it. But yeah, I talked to him last week actually. BS.
Yeah, he said they take 150 deer down a year with that group. Isn't that wild?
It's crazy.
So you're gonna learn something about that.
Some good ones too.
Look here, I got some help already.
That's right. Well, man, I'm all of a sudden on BFF number 2 again.
BF number 2.
Buddy Greg,
we're gonna get off here. I gotta get up at 4 a.m. and so busy day for me.
Don't make a lot of noise,
Mike. I appreciate you, man.
Thanks. Check out Mike's podcast, Beers and Bucks, and make sure you check out their website and their social channels.
Joe the Farmer, don't forget to subscribe to him. And we've only got 9 likes. Only 9 likes, and we've had like 60 people in here. Some follows or some thumbs up and some likes. We need some help, guys. Listen, appreciate you guys watching. Love all of you. Can't wait to see you next Tuesday. Maybe we get Joe in a stand. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. We'll see.
Thanks, fellas. See ya.
Bye.
Thanks, y'all.